evening to everyone. This is Everyman's 40K channel, and I am Everyman, your host. It is Saturday night, and I have a little bit of time. I do have to work tomorrow. I have to get up early in the morning, so I am staying in tonight, which gives me some time to work on some models. So in front of you, as you can see, we have some Grey Knights. These specifically are Grey Knight Nemesis Dreadknights, either Grandmaster and or regular baby carrier style, as you can see here. So what we're going to do is this will be the opening video for another how-to series, and we're going to do a how-to series basically on how to manipulate these Dreadknights, how to cut the legs, how to reposition, how to base them so they look cool and appropriate, and they look like models that everybody would be proud to have on the tabletop versus this kind of baby carrier style that everybody kind of laughs at a little bit. It's kind of weird looking, but I don't like it, so I'm not going to put them on the table. I'm doing something else. So here we go. Let's get into this. So as you can see, I have one Grandmaster here that I have done a video on. Please go check out the showcase on my Grandmaster. You will have some details in there on how I repositioned the legs and got this to look the way it does, basically. But most importantly, what I want you to take away for this particular video is the base. The base is very important because on all my bases, and even the smaller strike squads and interceptors and my paladins and such, I have went with a kind of rubble city vibe. So we have a burnt out building right here. On my second Grandmaster, so 2 patrols, 2 Grandmasters. I have another one in front of a building with my barrel, as you guys have seen the video. That barrel that I did the video with, that is the barrel right there. So I added the barrel, added a wall, repositioned the leg, and as you can see, he looks like he is charging or kind of jumping up over that wall, just like the other one I just showed you. Okay, so now following that theme, this is the key component of why I showed you that. This Nemesis Dreadknight I purchased from a friend of mine. This particular Nemesis Dreadknight, I cannot, for the life of me, get these ball joints out. He glued them in really good, which is no complaint, right? I mean, he did a good job. As well as these legs are solid. So I am not going to fight this. I'm going to leave it in this position, but I'm going to make 2 changes. I'm going to cut the arm here, and I'm going to cut this arm right here, right around that circle where they join. That's going to allow me to pivot. Okay, so follow me here. Once I pivot that arm, this is the base that this Dreadknight is going to go on. He is now, because I've set it up in such a way, he is going to put his back against that wall as though he's using that wall as protection. We are going to cut off the baby carrier, and then we are going to, as you can see in front here, we have more pieces of a kit that you can buy online that kind of turns these baby carrier kind of style minis into the more kind of space marine looking kind of what do you call it, Roman Empire kind of soldier, armor plating, shielding. This is what we're going to work on first. We're going to cut these arms, we're going to get the shoulder pads on, and we're going to do some other things up front here. I'm going to show you how to stick this on, which is going to require some carving and some drilling back here. And I'm going to show you that first. Then the second project on part 2, we're going to actually get into building a brand new one, my 4th Dreadknight. And that is why I have these legs sitting here. And I was starting to build this, but I said, nah, I got to stop, because I'm actually going to show you guys how to bend these legs into unique positions in order to get guys like this guy and this guy to be doing dynamic poses and action moves. Okay, so this is number 1. This is going to be the opener. I hope you guys stick around, all you orc guys. I'm an orc guy too. I understand you want to see orc stuff, but believe me, you're going to learn something here, and this is all part of the hobby, right? It's just all fun. So stick around, you orc guys. For all you Grey Knight players, this is going to be good, because you're going to learn a few things on how to cut and mold and move some things around on your Dreadknights, and how to get them to be more dynamic instead of just this kind of flat, in-your-face kind of baby carrier look. Okay, so let me cut these 2 arms, and I'm going to remove this guy with the pair of clippers right here. And I'm going to start cleaning this up, and we're going to work on this guy first. Okay, so let me cut the arms and do what I got to do, and I'll be back. So we're just going to razor saw right here, right at that gap, or right at that joint. Should be fairly easy, because these razor saws are really sharp. See that? Little cleanup, but that's perfect. So what this is going to allow us to do is to take this arm, and instead of being here like this tucked in, it's going to allow us to move this arm all the way to a position like this, out. Now, that kind of looks funny. So probably what we're going to do is, I am not liking that. That is not what we had in mind. So I'm going to make a second cut. Most likely, I'm going to cut right here. And I'm going to fold this up more. So we're going to pivot it basically at that joint, or at that elbow, and raise that up. Otherwise, it's going to look funny. First, let's cut this other one off. Do the same thing. Another easy, good cut. So let's see what this one looks like. So this one was like this. So if we turn it, it'll be out like that. And that does not look right. Does not look good. So between here and here, let's get the trusty red pointer out. Between here, right here and right here, we're going to have to close that gap. And right where the elbow's at, we're going to close that elbow pit. So we're going to cut that out and bend that. So let me work on those. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this saw, take this apart, snap this off, take this saw, I'm going to cut this out at an angle, cut it here, cut it straight, and then I'm going to bend it. Same thing here. Cut an angle, make some changes, and then I'm going to bend it up a little bit tighter. We might have to do a little bit of sculpting work and a little bit of milliput on these. We have to see how it comes out first. Okay, let me cut those. I'm going to cut those off camera. Nothing special, nothing secret. It's just cutting out the elbows. I'll show you when they're apart after we get back. Okay, so we have one arm cut. So basically, what I did is I removed this part right here on one arm because you're not going to see it. The gun goes over the top of that. Let me use this as an example. I'll show you. See right here? The gun goes over the top of that, so you'll never see it. It's hidden. So on this arm, right there, I removed it. And I also removed that little circle that the arm, you know, the little actuator that goes on the very top, it's supposed to plug in right there, but I removed it. Okay, so here's a secret. When you're cutting an arm like this, or you're cutting a leg or something, if you can, do not cut all the way through. Leave just a tiny little bit, like right here, still attached, because what that does is it allows you to kind of monkey around with it once you get it on like this. Watch. So we're going to go like this. So from here, I can actually start and bend it, and I can see how sharp or what kind of angle I want. If it's in two parts, I really can't do that. Right? You can't bend it, or you can't tweak that piece of plastic to set it where you want it and then glue. So don't cut all the way through. There, one secret for today. Let me glue this. Let me get this on this guy's body, and I'll come back. Okay, so I just want to show you real quick what you have to do in order to get one of these kits here onto one of these Dreadknights. So what I did is I went ahead and cut off the Space Marine. So he is gone. Basically, I took this cutter right here and I just started cutting. So I snipped off the little straps that was holding him on, snipped his legs off, sawed the body off. So pretty much just took my razor saw right here and I started cutting and just sliced his body off. Then what I did is I took a emery board with 60 grit sandpaper that I made. This is just out of a paint stick. And then I took the flat and I just started sanding across the body. Sand, 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 flatten this all out. Get this all flat. Then drill a hole in the top. And that is to start the much larger hole that I am going to now have to either X-Acto blade out or get another drill bit and go bigger and bigger and bigger, because I have to get this round portion right there. I have to get that to sit in there flush. And the only way to do that is to clearance that out with the hole. So let me do that and I'll continue and I'll come back and I'll show you before I'm finished what it's going to look like. So we're back and I've been able to push this one through quite a bit. So here we have the body is separated from the Dreadknight. Here is the body. So as you can see, That small, tiny little hole has become much, much bigger. We now have these tacked in place. They're not fully glued. I'll add some more glue underneath just to make sure that they're solid once we get to that stage. I have the arms cut, opened up. As you can see, that one is open. We have to do a little sculpting to close that back up. I've put a little pin in the top so that way when it comes time to bond or glue, we have a little pin. This arm is also pinned. We will need a little sculpting here on the back side. This one is ready to go. And as you can see, he is now in the Yosemite Sam cowboy holding 6 shooters kind of position. So he will then be mounted back onto this. I will turn the body slightly. And yeah, I mean, we're almost ready. The guns fit. So let me throw on a gun real quick. Just like this. And then this portion does fit still in that hole right there. And then once I glue it, it'll all fit nicely. Okay, so let me get all that done and I'll be back again. All right, we were able to finish. Record time. I need this thing for Thursday, so I have to get this completed and I have to get an actually whole nother Dreadknight built. So let's run through this real quick. So the arms are in, solid. Took and glued the pins in, got them rotated in the position that I wanted them. Went ahead, slapped on some front plates. This is where the Marine's feet were on those little stirrups or those little pads that he would stick his feet on, so you had to cover those up. This piece here is from an Orc kit. This is from their airplane kit. This is the intake from one of the engines off the Wazbomb blaster jet, I believe. So I took this, shaved it down, kind of curved it, took the little Orc spikes off of it, and went ahead and on the front stuck a little Inquisitor symbol there. I think that came out pretty cool. Got the head in, got the front plate, it's glued in, got the shoulder pads in, got the weapons in. I need to do a little cleanup. They're rough. This one's brand new. This one was already on there, but I still need to do a little cleanup. As you can tell, this guy is hand-to-hand combat weaponless. So most of them come with the sword or a hammer or some type of weapon. So this one, I went ahead and I stuck the sword in the back. So I cut the hand off, input 2 more pieces here, 2 small pieces, and then extended this out. So it looks like the full-size hilt. Turn this around, you can see that's where his sword is going to go. So I'm going to paint it, give it the full detail work. So the last thing I need to do is right under here, under this elbow, right in here, as we talked about, I got to do a little sculpting work, a little green stuff, a little putty, and here as well, in that elbow area. Very minimal, and I can do that while it's on the model. Oh, and last thing, so I got a little aggressive in the back, as you can tell. Look at that hole. Too aggressive, so that kind of looks ugly. So what I did is, again, just a miracle. I took this piece here, and this piece was off of the Space Marine harness that holds the Space Marine into his mech suit here. So what I did is I cut that off and I said, hey, let me see if that fits. And so what that's going to do is I'm going to drop that right behind him. Just like that. And close up that hole. Then last thing is his halo. We're going to take this bad boy and we're going to drop it right here. That's where it's designed to go. Just like that. His base, almost complete. So let's take a look at him on his base. Set him up for you here, and we'll glue him on his base. I'm going to prime him first, but he's been ready to go. So there he is right there. So this is going to end part 1. This guy is done. In part 2, we're going to get out my second Dreadknight, and we're going to start from him on scratch, and we're going to get these legs. We're going to get these legs going. So this is going to be part 1. So stay tuned. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. If you like what we're doing, come back, hit that notification button, and you'll see me working on Dreadknight number 2. But for this one, I'm going to call this complete. All it needs is primed, mounted on the base, and we're out of here. It's done. So, like we always say on the channel, everybody, we're going to wrap this one up. May all your dice rolls come up 6s unless you're looking for a 1. Peace out, guys.